All right, what's up guys? Hope all is well. Hope everyone's having an amazing day. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. In today's video, we're gonna go over the exact game plan or the exact blueprint that I used to help me lose 66 pounds in 6 months and build a lot of muscle or a good amount of muscle over the last couple of years. And in today's video, it's also gonna be how to calculate your macros based on your goals. So we're gonna get straight into it. When we look at your calories and macros, it's really important because the diet, a lot of the times, if the diet or the eating habits aren't on point, you're not gonna see the most amount of results, right? Yes, training is important, but your eating habits are by far, I would say, a lot more important. So if you watch this exact video all the way through, you'll see a lot more results. So we're gonna get into it, right? So when we wanna calculate your calories and macros, right, the first thing that you have to do is that you have to find your maintenance calories, right? So how are we gonna find your maintenance calories? Really simple. What you're gonna do is you're gonna do your body weight in pounds multiplied by like 15, right? So for example, if you're 200 pounds and you multiply 200 pounds by 15, you're gonna get 3,000 calories, okay? Super simple. Make sure it's in pounds and it's not in kgs or stones or anything. When we get your maintenance calories, then there's a couple of different things. Number one, either you wanna be in a surplus if you're focused on building muscle, or you want to be at a deficit if you're focused on losing weight or you're losing body fat. So if you're in a surplus, right, you're gonna add 200 calories. If you're in a deficit over here, you're gonna subtract 200 calories. So what it'll look like is 3,000 calories, your maintenance calories for a surplus. You're gonna add 200, it'll be 3,200. If you're in a deficit over here, you're gonna get your maintenance calories 3,000, subtract 200, you'll get 2,800 calories. Very simple, very straight to the point. That's how you wanna calculate your maintenance calories. After we calculate your maintenance calories, now we want to calculate your 3 essential macronutrients, right? So we got protein, fats, and carbs. So for your protein, what you want to have is you want to have 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight, right? So, and then also 1 gram of protein is equal to 4 calories. This is really important to know, and I'll explain why. So if you're 200 pounds, you want to have 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight. That'll be 200 pounds times 1 gram, you'll get 200 grams of protein. And then from there, we also want to know the calorie amounts as well for that 200 grams of protein. So 200 grams of protein times 4 calories is going to be equal to 800 calories. Very simple, right? So we always want to figure out the protein grams and the protein calories first. Now that we have that, we want to get our fats sorted. So for our fats, what we're going to have is we're going to have 0.3 grams of fats per 1 pound of body weight. So once again, 200 pounds, that's the example we're using of how big the person is. So 200 pounds times 0.3 is equal to 60 grams of fat, right? And then when we look at 1 gram of fat, 1 gram of fat actually has 9 calories. So it's actually more than double what 1 gram of protein has and what 1 gram of carb has. So 1 gram of fat is equal to 9 calories. So 60 grams of fat, right, this number, that's where we got this from, times 9 is gonna be equal to 540 calories. And that's how you're gonna calculate your fat. Once you have your fat calculated, you need to make sure these two things are done before, because when we're trying to calculate our carbs, what we're gonna do is the remaining calories we're gonna use for your carbs. So what is kind of the formula for this? You wanna do your total calories, right? So your total calories are gonna be either this or this, depending on if you're bulking or you're cutting, right? So your total calories minus your protein calories, which is right here, 800, minus your fat calories, which is right here, 540, is gonna equal your carb calories. So for this example, we picked someone that's in a deficit, right? Maintenance calories subtract by 200, 2,800 calories, subtract 800 calories from their protein calories here, subtract 540 calories from their fat calories right here, and they'll give you a total remaining calories of 1,460 calories for your carbs. So now that we have your carb calories, which is 1,460, for this, we wanna find out how many grams of carbs we wanna have per day. So to find out your carb grams, right, we're gonna do your carb calories, which is this number right here, divided by 4. Because 1 gram of carbs, right, has 4 calories. So you'll do 1,400 calories, which is this number right here, divided by 4, right? Because 1 gram of carbs has 4 calories, is gonna equal to 365 grams of carbs. So your total macros are going to be 200 grams of protein, which we got from right over here, 60 grams of fat, which we got from this formula up above here, and then 365 grams of carbs. And that's how you're gonna calculate your macros and calories. So very, very simple. This is the exact strategy, like I said at the starting of the video, that I used to help me lose 66 pounds in 6 months and put on a bunch of muscle throughout the years, and exactly how I calculate my calories and macros for all my clients. So I hope this brought you guys some value. If you guys have any questions, comment it down below. But other than that, like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, thank you.